this is the weigh-in recap show. We did have one fighter end up missing weight, but other than that, everybody else looked pretty good on the scales. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get straight into the video. Starting off the card, we had Austin Hubbard taking on Markel Medeiros. There are both of these gentlemen on the scales, looking pretty good. Austin Hubbard did, however, need to cut a few, I think it was like half a pound. He came back, he looked a little, shaky. It's pretty tough shaking those, cutting those last few pounds, but they both ended up making the weight, and they look pretty good. And here are these gentlemen at the official weigh-ins. Both of them rehydrated, you can definitely tell. And here is the face-off. Still sticking with Markel Medeiros. I think he's gonna win a pretty competitive decision. I could see a case where Austin Hubbard might gas a little bit. That weight cut did look a little tough on him. So, but for the most part, I do believe it'll be a tough fought decision for Markel Medeiros. Still rocking with him for the pick. Next up, we got Gabriel Miranda taking on Jamal Emmers. Here are both of these gentlemen. Both made weight, no issues. Miranda with the porno mustache and the Jesus piece. Jamal Emmers looks pretty cut up. I think this is probably the best shape that I've seen him in personally, especially compared to his last fight. He looks pretty cut up. He's got the abs on the sides, like the oblique abs or something like that. Forgot what it's called. Comment it, leave it in the comments. But yeah, he's looking pretty good. Here is the ceremonial weigh-ins. Rehydrated. Gabriel with the energy. And here is the face-off. Pretty solid stare down. I think Jamal Emmers still finds the finish though. I would say, Gabriel's path will just be submission. I think if Jamal, I feel like if he gets him hurt in the first round and he blows his gas, I could see Miranda probably getting it in like the second. So hopefully, he's tamed, his psychotic urges that he got when he was fighting like Nate Landwehr, gassed himself out, got knocked out. But I'm gonna rock with Jamal Emmers. I think he finds the finish. Next up, we got Vince Pichel taking on Rafa Garcia. Both made weight, no issues. Rafa's got a big head, man. He's Mexican. They got some pretty solid heads. And here is the ceremonial weigh-in. Both look good, rehydrated pretty well. Rafa had a pretty good pop from the crowd as well too. Shout out to MMA Junkie for the photos. Here's the face-off. Vince, you can tell he looks like an old man. That mustache is disgusting too. Look like an old naked mole rat. But yeah, Rafa Garcia decision most likely. Next up, we got the ladies. Julia Palastri taking on Lupi Godinez. Both ladies looking pretty good. No issues. Lupi looking pretty strong. Definitely looks a little more cut up than usual. And here are the ladies at the ceremonial. Lupi looking strong. And Julia, smile. Here's the face-off. Now, I don't know if you guys could see it, but I'm trying to figure out how to zoom in with this new computer I got. But if you look right there, it's a pretty nice target. I think Julia's going to have a lot of success in this fight. That chin sticks out past her body, so I think she's definitely going to be able to find it a lot. Next up, we got the lock of the week. Melquizio Costa taking on Christian Rodriguez. Both of these gentlemen up on the scale, no issues. And here is the ceremonial. C-Rod with the Mexico flag. Melquizio with the, he always does the face paint. I think he did the similar style last time too. And here is, here's the face-off. Pretty large size advantage, as far as height comes in. But I definitely believe Melquizio is going to come through. I don't think C-Rod has, much for him, honestly. Next up, the middleweights. Now, I was a little concerned, how Ateba would look on the scale. He looks a little more slim, but definitely no issues on the scale. Jose Daniel, I definitely believe this guy could cut to 170 easy. Uh, he's not the most physically imposing middleweight. I mean, look at him. He could definitely shave 15 pounds. You get a good diet. Hit the gym hard. He could definitely make 170. Maybe his durability might weigh a little bit, but if you look at Gastelum, I don't think Gastelum had. Well, first of all, Gastelum's never been knocked out, and he made 70 pretty easy for majority of his career up until recently. But I think he could definitely make 170. But here's the ceremonial. I mean, look at him. Yeah, he's not. He's pretty chubby. He's like a just chubby middleweight. Trim that down. He could definitely make 170. Here's a Teba, ripped. This dude is gigantic. Here's a face-off. Jose got in his face a little bit, trying to intimidate him. Common little, veteran move. But yeah, hopefully he doesn't gas, man. Jose can definitely, take some punishment. But I'm still rocking with Teba. Next up, we got CJ Vergara and Edgar Chairez. Pretty cut up, both of them. Edgar throwing up the heart. Pretty sizable favor in this fight, too. I think rightfully so. I don't think, CJ has anything. I mean, he's got like fast hands, but he doesn't have any sting on him. I don't think he's going to hurt Chairez at all, honestly. And here's the ceremonial. Chairez looking like the Grim Reaper. Mexican, what's the holiday? I forgot what it's called. Day of the Dead. That's what he's resembling right here. And definitely could be CJ Vergara's funeral. CJ definitely rehydrated, looking pretty good. There's the face-off. Look out for Chairez for submission. These lanky arms definitely could get up under that chin. Maybe even put him out in the first round, honestly. But yeah, rocking with Edgar. Next up, we got Kevin Borjas taking on Lazy Boy. Borjas made weight. Lazy Boy did not. He came in at 127, but he didn't look like, he was drained or anything trying to cut the extra pound. He looks like he took it on the chin pretty well. Doesn't look depleted, so I don't think he's going to have a huge issue in the fight or cause like a huge concern tomorrow for the fight. But yeah, unfortunately, he will be giving up some money. But here is both of these gentlemen at the ceremonial. Lazy Boy, he's in front of his people, man. Feels right at home, and rightfully so. And Borjas, here's the face-off. Watching it live, I felt like Lazy Boy was looking into his soul, man. Definitely rocking with Lazy Boy. It's going to be a crazy pace. Maybe 2 rounds. 2 rounds max. But rocking with Lazy Boy, even with the weight miss. Next up, we got Simon Oliveira taking on David Martinez. Simon looks like what Chairez, dressed up as to the to the ceremonial. He looks dead. Look at his face; it's all sunken in. I mean, he made the weight, but he looks like a bag of bones, honestly. David Martinez looks like he didn't have any issue making the weight. Probably could have, shaved a couple extra pounds. Here is ceremonial. David with the flag in his hands. And Simon with the cap, trying to hide those drainy eyes. Weight cuts are tough, man. Hopefully UFC goes away from it. But as for now, here's the face-off. It was pretty intense. But I'm still going with David Martinez by knockout. Definitely thinks he get it done. Next up, we got Vince Morales taking on Raul Rosas Jr. Vince Morales looking pretty good on the scale. Raul, pretty good with the Jesus piece, the rosary beads. I think it's going to be a tough fight. I don't see Raul finishing him. Vince is pretty scrappy. He's got pretty solid, get up game. I think Raul will be able to control him for a good amount of the fight, but I don't think he'll be able to find a finish. Here is the ceremonial weigh-in. Rover looks pretty good. Looks pretty good shape. Definitely, you can definitely tell he put on some muscle. He looks a lot better from, when you, what is he, 20 years old? When he made his debut, he was definitely not this cut up. So hanging around the UFC PI and, getting the right people around him, he definitely looks a lot better. Vince, same old, looking all right. There's a face off. I think it's going to be a, scrappy 29-28 for Raul. If he gets it finished, that would be nice, though. I don't think he's won. No, well, he won in Vegas, but he didn't. He lost in Mexico the first time against, or was it in Vegas? I can't remember. But I know he lost on home soil against C-Rod. But I don't see him losing this fight. Next up, we got Joe Body Bags Pyfer taking on Kelvin Gastelum. So at Media Day, Kelvin mentioned how he's been, in Mexico for at least a month getting acclimated. We all know Kelvin Gastelum has a really good gas tank. He's got really good durability. He's never been finished. He's been cracked. He's never been finished. I do expect him to get cracked in this fight. I don't know if, I do think Joe Pyfer's going to put him out, but he also mentioned that, he got word that Joe Pyfer has only showed up a week ago. Now, that did raise a little concern for me, but Joe Pyfer, he does train with Sean Brady. Those guys have, as you can see, an excellent game plan for, these fights that they got. Sean Brady, whooped Leon's ass. I don't think Joe Pyfer's going to, show up as a slouch or anything, but him showing up a week ahead of, the fight is a little concerning for me. I think he might get a little tired in the third round. I would have liked him to do, some acclimatization, getting acclimated, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, getting acclimated, just like Kelvin did, at least 2-3 weeks in advance. Because not saying I've fought in elevation, but I have been somewhere where the elevation is crazy and had to get acclimated, like running in it and stuff like that. It's definitely a game changer if you're used to, living below sea level. It's definitely completely different. Your lungs go a lot quicker. You can feel how, the difference in the air when you're breathing it's something that you definitely need to prepare for instead of just jumping into the deep end. But I do think Joe Pyfer has the power to crack Kelvin Gastelum. He did say he's staying at 185. He wasn't, too psyched out about this matchup. I wouldn't be either if, the guy on the other side, his name is Body Bags, but I think Joe Pyfer gets it done. If not, I do think the third round will be definitely interesting. I see Joe hurting him for 2 rounds, but I'm rocking with Joe Pyfer. And here are these fellas at the ceremonial. Kelvin looking pretty big for 185. He's definitely not 185 here. He's probably blew up to like 200. And same for Joe Pyfer. He's got the spiky hair going on. These are some big guys. 185 is filled with a lot of big guys. Kelvin's, an in-betweener, but I don't know if he's going to be able to take a lot of punishment from Joe Pyfer. Here's a face-off. Some big dudes, man. Rocking with Joe Pyfer still. And in the co-main event, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a W in the chat if you enjoyed the weigh-in recap. We got Drew Dober taking on Manuel Torres. Dober looking pretty good. Manuel looking pretty good. He's pretty lanky, man. I think he might be able to make 70 and be pretty comfortable. He's got a pretty good frame. Not having to cut those extra pounds could, do something for his durability, which is something that after I did the breakdown, I was like, he has been cracked a few times, but I think he has more power than Drew Dober. So that's why I initially leaned with him. But if he were to go up to 170, I think that would be, a good investment for him as well. Here is the ceremonial. Oh, pictures are a little out of order, but here he is. Yeah, he's pretty cut for 55. I definitely, he could definitely go up to 70 and have no issues. He might do a little better up there. You never know. 70 guys are pretty big, but I think he can make 170 and be comfortable. Here's Drew Dober. Basking in the hate. They were booing him bad, as they should, And here's the face-off. Like I stated earlier, It's a pretty good target right there. Think Manuel connects clean. We've seen Drew Dober wobbled, hurt, knocked out, all of the above. Same as for Manuel, but I think it's gonna be tough reaching the taller man sometimes. Um, I'm rocking with Manuel. I think he gets it done by finish. And finally, in the main event, we got Brandon Moreno, the Assassin Baby, taking on Steve Astro Boy Erceg. Both gentlemen made weight, no issue. Steve always looking like, your third grade teacher. Doesn't really show a lot of emotion. Just a cool, calm, collected dude. And here is the ceremonial. Got an extra pic of this guy. Kind of looks like Kermit a little bit. There he is on the scale. Basking in the hate as well. They booed him bad too. You show up to Mexico, man, you're gonna get booed. How many pics of this guy we got? Here is Brandon Moreno. Showed up with the flag. Crowd was loving him on the scale. Brandon Moreno's never been, what's the word? Like a physically aesthetic type of fighter. He never looks, like super cut up or anything. He's pretty flabby. He could go up to 35, similar to like what Figgy did. He just doesn't have power. That's his issue. But he could have some success at 35. He's pretty quick. Here's the face-off. I don't know, man. It's just smelling like a Brandon Moreno decision, and that's what I'm rocking with. Now bringing up the parlays that I did in the betting breakdown video for you guys. I'm still going with Chairez inside the distance. David Martinez by knockout and Manuel Torres by moneyline. Got that at plus 812. And I got Melquizael Costa by sub and Ateba Gautier inside the distance plus 984. I think both of those methods of victory are definitely going to come through, or at least have a chance of coming through. I like Melquizael Costa. He's the lock of the week. Definitely room for him to get the W tomorrow. And I don't see Christian Rodriguez having any success. Guys, if you enjoyed the weigh-in recap, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I will be doing the full card review immediately after the fights are finished. So please make sure you tune into that. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.